Hello guys, I hope you have installed your Redis in your system. Let's deep dive inside our data structures in Redis. So let's go into the keys first. So what is keys? Why we need keys? How it is going to be change the Redis storage data structure main portions. Okay, actually keys is not a data structure. The key is the property which holds the data in Redis. So key is always be unique. It doesn't matter how many times you can assign the data, it will be override, but keys won't get copied or duplicated. So next keys are binary safe. So you don't need to worry whether the key will lost or key will be encrypted or decrypted easily. So it's a binary safe. So the each size of how much size we can actually store in our Redis for those keys. It takes 514 MB. In future they are going to expand it according to the conference by Redis. So let's take the example what is keys, how it actually, what is the key. I'm just telling the keys are just a unique and everything. If you see the example here customer 101. Key is the customer 101. So, okay. So if you see here, the key is customer 101. So this is the property which should be unique always. So better key is always going to give faster result and you can easily identify the result properly. If you just give random UUIDs or if you give any kind of unique values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that is not a meaningful. Key should be always meaningful. It should be kept any kind of expanded way. Like here I gave customer. This mentioning that customer is a unique keyword and 101 is the unique ID of them. So this customer 101's name is John. So here you can see here the key is 101. Okay, I'm going to explain in practical way. Don't need to worry about that. Let's go to the next first data structure. So first data structure is strings. You know strings? Yeah, exactly what you have studied in your programming languages. It is a collection or sequence of elements, typically characters using some character encoding. So strings uh, can be stored. It's nothing but you can only store string. You can convert your own JSON into the string and then you can store it. So Redis will allow those type of serialization and deserialization process also in there. So Redis has strong data structures. You don't need to worry about that whether your data will get lost or you won't able to add those data inside. So you can store any type of data, entries and strings, numbers, floating points, JPEG image, serialized or not deserialized way of objects that can carry any kind of thing. So operates on whole string or pods or increment you can do. If you are storing as a number, actually in backend it will store as a string. Okay. So what it will actually do, you can do any kind of operation on it like increment or decrement, anything. So let's come to Redis commands. How actually we can store this string values in one particular key and then we can store and we can retrieve the data. How we can increment, how we can actually scan those data, how we can delete the data. Everything I'm going to explain you. So let's start from here. So if you see the set, so set is the command. So key is the I discussed. It should be the unique values. Value should be the value which you like to assign to the respective key. So here nx and xs means nx points to non-exist. If the key is not exist, then only you can store. It's the optional command only. Xs means if the command, if the key is already exist, then you can store that one. So nx means if not exist, if exist. Simple. So get key to retrieve that value for the respective key. So, but basically the Redis in Redis, or if you are programmatically using your Redis, so that particular time get is not a recommended for any kind of operations. If you go for production, it is a bad idea to use the get operation because it is a blocker. It will check everything. Till then, it will block other thread to get the data. So scan is a good operation command, but it is best for production. But we will I will tell you how what is the best way to retrieve the data. Even though scanner is a good thing, there are some pros and cons over there. I will discuss in later. So exist key, if the key exists, it will return zero. Sorry, it will return one. If key doesn't exist, it will return zeros. So del key, it is nothing but deleting key. It is same. It's a blocking. It is not recommended for production. It's better for debugging purposes, like you are using gate. So this is unlink, which is an asynchronous operation. So it will unlink the key and remove it later, but it won't block the your commands or from executing by other threads. So let's go to the practical sessions. So before starting into the Redis CLI, you have to start your Redis server first. So for that command is Redis server. Okay. So your Redis server started. So if you see here properly, so this is the Redis versions. So Redis standalone mode. You can run in standalone mode right now. I will tell you how to do cluster mode later. So this is the unique ID where the server is running. So this is a Redis website you have. So here server is initialized, loading RDB produced by versions. So you don't need to worry about those things. It is a backend created commands. So it execution is 0.001 seconds, which is a 1 milliseconds. You can see. Okay, Redis is waiting for our commands to get executed. Let's start our CLI now. Okay, so for starting the CLI, you just have to type the Redis CLI. Simple. Yeah, that's it. So first, you have to see in where it actually started. It is started in localhost, which is a 127.0.01, which is a local host which is pointing to. It runs the port 6379. So actually, how you know actually this is a port? Those things. Should I have only used 6379? Can't I use something like 8088, 8085 like that? Yes, you can use own port, but you have to configure the redis.configure files while installing the Redis. Go to that respective folder and change the configuration settings. There will be a port number will be there. You can just modify it and then you can use it. So 6379 is the default port which is given by the Redis. So it is better to use for your tutorial purpose. So let's work on. So we are talking about the strings. Okay. So first key in first command which I have been seen in the keys are set. So let's set the key. So set key is nothing but first keyword set. If you once started finishing the command, it will give you the suggestions, or you can see auto completions or what actually you are looking for. So I gave set command. So after that, what I have to give is key. So here key is, so it's customer 101 name. Okay. So customer 101 is a key and name. Name, instead of giving name, you should give string value. It will be better. So I'm giving my name. So it is asking on more options like NX or XX. NX is nothing but uh, if not exist, then add it. If exist, then don't add it. So let me type NX. Okay. So if you see NX and then I'm enter. So once you click enter, it says OK. It means that particular key has been assigned with value with, and also NX mentions that key actually not exist, so you can store the data. So everything happened successfully. So OK is returned to us. Okay. So next is we set the value to our key. Now I want to return the values. So before going to that one, we can create one more. We can try one more time. So we are using nxquery if the key is not exist. Right now the keys exist, but I want to change the name from this to something else, John or something. But if you click enter now, it will give nil value. Nil means it is not stored because the key already exists. Okay. So let's get the data of the customer 101. I want the value of the customer 101. So I am using get command and type customer 101. Okay. So now you can see the value of the inside. This is the basic assigning the value and then retrieving the values. okay, for string data types. So I can only store the string type. You told you can store any type of things in the string things. Yes, you can store numbers or floating points and then you can manipulate those data. Let me tell you how to do it. So set, okay. So if you're taking numbers, you don't take this random numbers. This is, we have to take it better way. Yeah, okay. Player, don't keep it capital. It's better to use small. Player rank 1. Okay. So if you take player, better you can use small, I mean lowercase keywords too, but it's good practice to use uppercase for commands, lowercase for other things. So player rank, okay. So player rank is 1. So if you see here, I store as number, but when I fetch the data, it is coming as a string. So what actually Redis is doing is, first it will take the integer or float or string, it will check the value, okay, what kind of type it is, okay, and then it will convert it into string in while storing into database. But when you are actually manipulating, that time it will do conversions from the which respective operation you are going to. Suppose you are adding numbers or you are incrementing one particular number, means that particular time it will convert it into integer and then it will increment by whatever the value you are giving and then it will store as a string at final stage. Okay, so if you take yeah, uh, you can say increment. Okay, increment is nothing but incrementing the respective key values. So I want to change my player rank to 2. So I have to increment player rank by 1. Okay. So player rank by 1. So what it's showing, let's see. So wrong number of arguments for increment command. Okay. So why it is happening? Because there are two type of things is there in increment. One is increment, which actually increase only one value. It will increase only I equal to I plus 1 type. Okay. So increment player rank. Okay, so now player rank has been incremented. So in order to check it, you can have to use like get player rank. Okay, so now it is value is 2. Okay, so next is we have to discuss about how to increment by different digits. I want to increment by 10. I want to increment by 12. I want to decrement by 10. So how we can do it? Simple keyword increment by. Okay, and you have to give your key. Key is player rank. I want to increment by 10. Simple. It turns to 12. So now if you do player, sorry, this is different case. If you change the case, it will give error to you. Actually, it won't give error. It will give nil value. So see, actually what it's saying, look, I gave wrong player name instead of player rank. Okay, you can say 12. So it now you can use increment by. You can have to give key how much you want to increment. For decrement, how I can do? Is there any command? Decrement or DCER or decrement by? No, there is nothing. If you type, yeah, it has actually. Oh yeah, it's that expression they have introduced that one. So you can use player rank decrement by 1. It can reduce, or you can use decrement by 10. Yes, you can use decrement by 10. So these are the good things that you have known. So right now what you have learned, how to assign the values to the key, how to retrieve the key, how to increment and decrement for numbers or anything. So I have shown only integer values. You can set anything. Like if you take set Okay, shares. Okay, customer shares to 1.01. Yes, it said if you search, look, it's a floating point number. So how to increment my floating point number? Increment by float, simple. And then you have to do shares by 1. Look, same for decrement. So error. So let's see why it's the reason. So decrement by, okay, actually decrement by float is not there, only increment by float. So you can use decrement by using negative values, simple. Okay, so now we we know how to manipulate our numbers, floating point numbers, and then we can manipulate the strings. So we need to know whether the key actually exists. I don't want to use get key to find out a nil value or something, but I want to know like the key value exists or not just by using exist. Sorry, yeah, exist. What's the key name you want to give? Just player name. Yes, it's telling the integer 0. Okay, let's see one more key. Exist. Shares. Yeah, share exists, but player rank doesn't exist. Okay. So because player rank is not there, we have player rank only, not the player name. Player rank, if you give, it exists. Okay. So I was talking about block or something else, what it was. Yes, actually, this get command and then one more command is there, delete command. So I will tell you later. So these two commands are blocker commands. It should be only used for debugging purpose, not for production purpose. So yeah, let's go for that one. So let's go for scan first. So scan actually takes the arguments like first cursor. Cursor is nothing but each cursor will have a set limit. First is zero cursor. In from zero cursor, they will keep the default limit to search 1,000 results. From the 1,000 results, whichever is matching, it will give the data to you. Likewise, but what key will what actually the get will do? It will search entire thing, but it's a blocking it. If it's a million data in your database, your Redis, it will take more time to take fetch your data. So it's a bad idea to use that one. So scan, it will give a cursor. You have to give cursor, which is nothing but index. You can give zero cursor, one cursor, two cursor, or anything else. It will. Uh, it's like you can index of the particular respective key value pairs. So from zero, you can give any patterns. Patterns is something like I want to know all the player colon type of datas, keys. So you can keep the count also how much how many things I have to search. Like first 1,000 is I want to search means you can give just type syntax error is coming. Okay. Um, Cursor 0 player star. Okay. Oh, sorry, match keyword I need to give. Sorry for that one actually. So you have to give match keyword and then you have to give pattern. Okay. And from the 1,000 results. So it's a syntactic error. Sorry, count 1,000. Yeah. Now you can see I need player colon something else in the database. This is the key pattern. So I want the key in this pattern. So player rank is matching that pattern. From the 1,000 results, it's giving the result to me where it actually it is. So I got player rank. So if that particular result is not there, it will return one cursor to me. From that cursor, I can search next 1,000 results. Okay. So far you got to know scanning operations. Now we can go for deleting operation. So deleting operation is simple. Just type delete and key name player rank. Okay, so you can see it returns 1, which means that one data got deleted. So there are one more operation is the delete is a blocking operation, so only for debugging. So next is unlink operations. So unlink shares. Yeah, it is a non-blocking asynchronous operation, which is nothing but it won't block your actual code to execute in programmatic way. So when it comes to programming, I will explain in depth concept of those things. So right now, just know delete and then get is the blocking commands. Scan and unlink is the non-blocking commands, which is an asynchronous operation. So, so first strings you have discussed. So let's go to the next topic.